In 2021, I made this one mistake that probably cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars. My mistake was I didn't understand the concept of efficient revenue or contribution margin. My top-line revenue data from all of my channels like Amazon, Shopify, etc. was not painting a clear picture. And so I made guesstimates that cost the company a lot of money. Hey guys, my name is Jared Ward. I'm the founder and CEO of Luminous. Luminous is an easy-to-use, scalable ERP system for the modern e-commerce brand. Follow along for weekly videos, tips, and tricks on how to scale your e-commerce business, and also how I'm building Luminous to be the next billion-dollar SaaS company. Nowadays, just about every e-commerce company is multi-channel, meaning they sell on Shopify, Amazon, big box retail stores, maybe even Etsy or Walmart.com. As a recession looms, there are two things that the smartest brands are doing right now to prep for that. Number one is identifying the most profitable revenue-driven channels and SKUs, doubling down on those profitable SKUs and channels, then killing everything else that doesn't have the best contribution margin. Number two, hyper-focusing on organic content and their brand. At Luminous, we've seen a lot of companies' revenues dipping in 2023. Consumers are just a bit more skeptical to spend their money this year. While this may look negative, I actually think this is an excellent opportunity for brands to really make a more efficient, data-driven business model. Before 2023, I saw tons of brands focus so much on adding new products and new channels. It normally looks something like this. Hey, I invented this super amazing drink formula that I can sell direct to consumer. Then I'll launch with 2 SKUs on Shopify only, and they pop off and the sales go through the roof. I have a TikTok video that went viral on my launch and it really boosted my sales. I also figure out how to get a great 5x ROAS on these 2 SKUs with my Meta ads or my Facebook ads. Next, I might see my competition is selling an amazing cherry limeade mix, and I'm like, let's sell a freaking cherry limeade mix. Then on top of that, I'm like, I just did $1 million in sales on Shopify alone. I'm just gonna send 3,000 units to FBA. Let's see what happens. Also, I have a friend that knows the Costco buyer of our category. I'm gonna see if I can get a PO from Costco. Then before you know it, you're across 3 different channels, 3 different distribution centers, and when the dust settles, you and your finance person are looking at the year-end data and you're like, how were we less profitable this year with twice the revenue? Here's what I'll say. The answer is actually pretty simple, but you don't have a way to see the answer. Most e-commerce companies don't have a system of record where they can easily pull contribution margin of their SKUs and channels. That's it. It sounds so simple, but it's a massive issue plaguing e-commerce companies. If they did have a system of record, they would normally see that their data is telling them certain things like, hey, this product actually isn't profitable. Across all channels that might have a contribution margin of 10%. You might want to kill that product off. Or, hey, you might find a channel that is not very profitable and might actually be cannibalizing the revenue of your other profitable channels. These are common issues, but because you have no breakdown of your margins across channels and SKUs, nothing is showing you that you are losing money. You don't even know where and you don't even know how. So here's a quick story. At the last e-commerce company that I ran, we had 2,000 plus SKUs and we did about $15 million in revenue. We sold across 7 different channels for context. When we finally got a system of record implemented, we realized that 10% of our products were driving 80% of our revenue. A big realization was that we had certain cutting boards that were actually completely unprofitable on Amazon. Yes, they had a negative contribution margin on Amazon. In our other channels, the same product had a 40 to 50% contribution margin. On top of that, the Amazon sales were actually cannibalizing our profitable sales channels. This isn't the case for every brand. I'm certainly not saying don't sell on Amazon. It's actually a pretty complex discussion on whether or not you should totally exit a certain sales channel. So what's the answer here? How do you solve this? A system of record that shows you contribution margin by channel and by SKU. It is not an easy solution to implement. You need to get your inventory numbers correct. You need to know what revenue is coming from each channel and your cost of acquisition on each of those channels. You need a system of record that easily tracks landed cost and other variable costs that go into your product. This is actually why I built Luminous. I was an e-commerce CEO in the thick of it, and I felt this pain very strongly. I built a system of record that can hopefully bring clarity to you within your data, and it will allow you to cut underperforming SKUs and channels. So you can have a well-oiled, data-driven e-commerce company, and you know where to put your energy and your money. You can put it towards growth, the most profitable channels and products. If you resonate with any of these issues, I'm happy to chat with you. Go book a demo at joinluminous.com. Thanks everybody. Peace.